Can you hear me? This is Cheryl Norman. Can Angela hear me?
Hi, welcome.
Hi.
A little glare there. Thank you so much.
So I haven't had anybody wanting to get certified in the last couple of years with COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually started working on it in COVID because I had a little time. There wasn't much else going on.
Great.
Yeah.
So you're certified now.
Yeah, I am. Yep, I just did it last year. So
Wonderful.
I finished it last year. Yeah, welcome. I see some more friends coming on. I'm gonna make sure to not miss anybody. Would you just humor me for a minute? I'm going to test sharing my screen. Welcome. Hi. I'm just going to test this out really quick. Oh, glad I'm testing it because it's not going right away. All right, humor me for a minute while I try this. Okay, I don't know if it's going to allow me to share my screen. I might need to quit and reopen, but I don't really want to do that with all of you on right now.
Click that green thing down below.
Yeah, and it's saying I need to give it permission and then restart it, and I don't really want to restart it.
Oh.
So that's what it's saying. Welcome. I'm going to open my chat box too, because we are going to be in the chat a little bit today. Drop in the chat as you're joining here. A little hi and where you're from, because we should have people from all over the state today. So that's fun. I see my friends. Hi, Melinda and Mindy and Betsy. Welcome. And I'd love to hear as you're getting on if you personally have certified or are working on it or not certified. Totally no judgment here. I just barely certified last year, and I'm currently serving as the state certification chair. And there's still kind of a bright shining light shining down, but oh well. It's the angelic light coming down. Okay, I'm gonna just try that one more time. Oh, it might let me do it. I'm gonna just test out my sharing. Oh, you are now screen sharing. Okay, so that might work. And we can close that one. Okay, open recent. And we need that one. Okay, awesome. Just wanted to test that out. Okay, good. Oh, and I was going to send another reminder today, but I sent one a couple days ago. Yay, Mindy. Yep, Jordan River, Betsy, Salt Lake. Who else do we have on here? Tell me where you're from. I've got the list, but.
I'm Cheryl from American Fork.
Yay. We've got Leah from Bridgerland, and she's thinking about certifying. Awesome. And we have Melinda here who did that. She served as certification chair while working on her own certification. So that's awesome. And Melinda just finished hers. I don't know how to get rid of that glare there, but oh well. Okay, awesome. And okay, so what in your chapters have you noticed? Put in the chat or say out loud what have you noticed have been some hangups? Why people have not certified, why people have shied away from it a little bit?
COVID.
COVID, yes, definitely. And just the disruption of everything. I think we haven't really recovered, actually.
I'm just going to say commitment, because they feel like
Yes,
it's overwhelming and just too much for what they're able to do.
absolutely. Yep. Or they think if they commit to it that they have to finish in a certain amount of time.
I
Good.
hope I have, squashed that in my chapter. You can take as long as you want to.
I love it. That's right. And you totally can. We're going to get into some details of that. What else from other chapters? What have
I
you
think
found?
I think the technology throws a lot of people.
Definitely. Definitely. Yep, there is a technology piece, and yeah, there's some trial and error with that. Absolutely. Yeah. I think just dedicating the time to it too, don't you think? Just knowing that it's going to take extra time is like, do I really want to do that? What else have you found? Any other?
One thing I think is that teachers who haven't had much college experience might think that they can't do it. So that could be a roadblock, being kind of intimidated or worried about whether they can do it.
Yes, yes. And I think specifically the theory, if you haven't had college level theory classes, but the theory in the certification, for those of you that don't know, is really an intermediate level, the theory that you need to do. So it's not crazy college senior level. And so let's go through some possible solutions to some of those that you can offer to your chapters. So for the theory, I have been recommended to offer to take yourself through the Keith Snell theory books. And so we use these for our students often, and you can take yourself through them. Just flip through. I know that, I know that, I know that. Oh, here's something I don't know as well. And start there, and you can work yourself through those workbooks. A student is late, a student doesn't show up, fill out a couple of things. The technology, I would be willing to, if we have a group of people interested in certifying, I would be willing to do a little screen share and show a little tutorial on how to just upload a video to YouTube. So if there's an interest in that, would you reach out to your chapters and send me an email, and I would be happy to host a little class on that. Lori Sir was the state certification chair before me, and she did theory classes, and I don't plan on doing that. But I would be willing to show technology, maybe if there's a group that's interested in that. And then we mentioned time and commitment. And so we will go into some specifics of that, but you can just pick away at it. You can just do a little bit. You can take years, and your work is not wasted. And we don't think that they will be changing the system. I guess that would be the only thing, is if they were to change the system, and then your work would not go toward it. But for right now, it seems like it's set. So, and if money is a factor, we have heard of some chapters offering a grant. Some chapters have some extra funds. And if there's a teacher really interested in certifying and the money is a factor, you may consider talking over with your board and voting on it as a chapter to offer a grant to be used for certification. So if money is a block for anyone, that is another option. So why certify? What are some reasons, those of you that are certified, what are some reasons why you did it? You can type in the chat, and I'll keep an eye on that. Or you can just unmute yourself and say, so why did you decide to do it? Or why do people that in your chapter do it, do you think?
I just wanted to say that I know what I think I know, or what I say I know, just to kind of prove to myself that I could do it and offer more to my students. But it was kind of a personal thing to say, okay, I did not graduate with a music degree, but I have had experience and taken some college music classes. And I know, I've studied music. I just didn't graduate in it, but I sometimes have felt inferior because of that. So I just wanted to prove to myself that I could do it.
Jack, you did it. Congratulations. What are some other whys?
I would just add to that. I kind of wanted to prove to myself as well, but also I have a bachelor's degree. It's a Bachelor of Arts degree. So I didn't get any of the pedagogy training, that was offered if I had been a performance major. So I felt like, starting to teach, which was something that was not my career plan, I was pulling myself by my bootstraps. And so I felt like this certification would finally give me all of the stuff that I needed to feel like I was a true certified teacher.
You are legit. I love it. So good.
Angela, I have a master's in piano performance and pedagogy, but even then I went through the NCTM certification, and things were in there later after I got my master's. I didn't know how to do videos and put them on YouTube, and I learned how to do that, and a number of other things, that it's always changing. And even though I took classes that I knew the theory really well and, those kinds of things, but the technology end of it is always changing. And for me to go through it, the certification process, I upgraded.
Yes. Good. Good. I love it. Okay. And we could go on and on. It sets yourself apart from the crowd. It's a personal growth. It's a personal goal. And that's really, it's and just a fun project. It really was just a fun thing to kind of work on. I taught for 20 years before I even certified. I had to get my kids in school so I could have a little brain space while they're in school a little bit. And it really does legitimize your studio even more and your name even more with that NCTM. And oh my gosh, I just said, did I say the wrong thing? Oh, and we have a comment here. As a non-music major, but with some music classes in college, I thought a couple times about going back to get a music degree, but every time I was discouraged because it meant going through a whole 4-year degree. But doing the certification process instead, I felt I really knew as much as I would have if I'd done the major, mostly for me. I totally agree with that. It's so much more accessible than going back to actual college. And then you don't even have to memorize your piece. How about that? Okay. So, so this is what I would suggest you share with people in your chapter wanting to certify. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen, and, I just want to mention, I just do desktop. Yeah. I just want to mention that, Melinda here and Mindy and Betsy worked together 3 chapters to do our classes. Okay, I'm going to make this bigger. So here's an overview of the projects currently. So if you are not familiar, we'll just go over them really quick. Write your teaching philosophy, analyze 4 pieces, present your teaching, and it's analyzing to be taught, right? It's not analyzing in a deep chord by chord way, but just if you were to teach it, and then presenting your teaching. This is the video recording we were talking about, and then video of your own playing, 5 to 10 minutes of your own playing. And project 4, share information about your teaching environment, and 5, business ethics and studio policies. This is another why for me. I just really wanted to get things more set up in back behind the scenes, and this gave me a chance for that. And then here's the website that you can send people to that are interested. And I will be emailing all of this out, as well as a link to this video for anyone who wasn't able to be there live. So I'll send this by email. Don't worry. Okay. Any questions on that so far? On this website, you don't even need to register, but on this website, certification.mtna.org, you can even download the packet, the actual project handbook, I think it's called, and you can have all the information. This is just a brief overview. Okay, however, even though it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as my amazing people in our chapter suggested to me, here's a suggested order of how to work on it. Start with project 3. You could start with project 1, teaching philosophy. That's kind of your why of teaching. But project 3 is kind of a process, right? You're going to video one, maybe I would choose 2 students in case one moves or something happens. And it can be any level of student, and you do practice recordings, and then you have the process of learning a piece. So it's 3 videos of the piece along the way, and then start practicing your own piece. So those are kind of a process, and you don't have to register or pay or anything to start this. And then you can work on drafting these as you go. So in between these, you can pick away at project 1 and 4 and 5, because it's just kind of writing some things. Okay. And so this, and I felt like all of this was sort of in the flow of my normal life. Like I'm teaching the student anyway. I just turn on a video. And it's not, I don't know, it's not a great big deal, even though it is a process. And similarly with these, you know, you can just kind of pick away at it, pick one question, one topic, and set little goals for yourself. And then once everything above here is finished, then you can apply for certification, pay the fee, and you have an entire year. So once you actually register, you have 12 months to complete the project number 2, which is analyzing the 4 teaching pieces. And this I thought was actually a pretty big project. It was A, B, C, D, E, F. It was 6 paragraphs for each of the 4 pieces. So quite a bit of writing. But if everything else is done, then you can just do that. And then just some other suggestions at the bottom here. Notice the word counts before starting. I did not always do this and had to cut a few things down or expand a few things. And then your word processor has a tool to count the words for you. So again, I will share this document. And what should I add to this? Also notice sometimes you can choose which topic to write about. You don't have to write about all of them. Yes, Melinda. Uh-oh, I can't hear you.
Never mind. I forgot already what I was going to say.
Oh, dang it.
The first thing I was going to say is our chapter, well, our 3 chapters, Salt Lake, Jordan River, and Sandy, we offer because the project 2 is so big, we offer meetings where we just analyze a piece in each of the 4 periods so that you get practice analyzing before you actually start your own analyzing when they send you that. So it's good to go to those weekly or those monthly meetings so that you can just get feedback from teachers and learn how that it works.
Yes, thank you. That was my next suggestion. Perfect segue. Yes. So in your chapter, if you can have monthly or even every other month, have a little meeting for those in your chapter interested in certifying. And if your chapter doesn't have, I don't see any. Okay, so some chapters don't have a certification chair, but you can join this group also that's already going. So just send me an email. It's sogoodgirl@gmail.com. And you can send me an email and I can forward information of an existing group that's already meeting on Zoom, like our awesome 3 chapter group that we have going. But it is helpful if it is local and if it's people that you kind of know. So yes, Melinda, do you have another comment?
I just remembered what I was going to say. Something that you could add is start the, you don't have to do the bibliography like proper, but start citing everything as you go.
I'm
So
going
if
to
you're,
add that. That is so good.
just make sure that you have all of the sources written down so that when it comes time at the end, you have to do your bibliography, you're not scrambling to, oh my gosh, where did I get that from? So, because that was kind of a big deal
Yes.
when you're finally putting it all together, is to have that bibliography down.
Yes, thank you so much. I thought the bibliography was actually kind of a big part of that. Yes, finding, and you can cite a website. So yeah, just make a little list as you go. I love that. Websites, books, any other sources that you use so that you can cite those properly. And we could go into more detail on how to, if you guys need that. There is a website that if you put in a book, it'll cite it for you. It'll put it in the proper format. So that is helpful.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, even if you don't do it properly right to the beginning, at least if you have a list of everything that you've used, then it's easy to go back and
Yes.
do it.
And then you can
at the
type
end.
each one in that website and then you'll have
Mhm.
all your sources. Yes, so good. I had to backtrack a little bit on mine, I think, and look for a couple of websites. I was like, oh yeah, I got that on the internet. Where? Yep. So helpful. Another suggestion as you go. Well, I mean, you could do this multiple ways. In the end, it's one big long document that you turn in online. And so it was kind of a big project at the end for me to compile all my documents into one. So you could keep one running long document. But that was just my way of like, okay, it's done. Now I put it in the big one. There's more than one way to do that. Okay, any other suggestions I should add to this to send out? Just kind of overall suggestions as you go. I think I would also just say, maybe I say this already, just do a little at a time. Just pick away at it and set little goals for yourself. Okay, so these are things you can pass on to people in your chapter that are interested in certifying. Anything else I should add?
Angela, I would just add too, to make sure that they remember to get the authorization and release form
Yes.
signed. So that's for the student that they're using in their videos. And also if you have pictures or videos of students for other parts of projects, you need to have their parents fill that out. And that's in the workbook.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it's called. I'll look it up. Permission form for the video and pictures. Thank you for pointing that out. That is super important. And then that will just be uploaded with everything. So good.
Whoops.
I heard something. What?
Some of the teachers that I've helped to certify have wanted to have private piano lessons in order to get all this, to understand and know how to do all of this. And so some don't need it. Do you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
some have wanted private lessons. So I've given them a discount on my lessons because of their certification, and help them through doing all of these things, analyzing pieces and doing the theory that they've never had any background whatsoever. And it really takes kind of a weekly lesson to get them going on those things.
What a gift. And aren't adult students such a gift?
Not every teacher needs that, but
Right. That is so awesome.
In the olden days, when I did my certification, it was about 15 plus years ago, we had to do a recital. And so I took private lessons for a year from somebody at the university so that I could feel comfortable about doing a recital.
Yeah.
And memorization was not required. I was working with Heather Connor at the U, and she said, well, you expect your students to memorize, don't you? Yes. She said, well, it was hard, but
memorizing's
the
hard as an
lessons
adult
really
now. I
helped
used to
me.
memorize everything, and now
Yeah, it helped a lot, but you don't have to do that anymore.
yes, memorization is not required for our performance on here. So that's amazing.
I was also going to say, if Leah is interested, and I'm sure Mindy and Melinda would agree, we would be really happy to have her get in with our Zoom classes to first help her get certified, and then she can do what she wants with her own chapter.
Thank you. Maybe just share with her right now when they are and what you do.
Okay. Let's see if I can find that.
I'll stop. The
What's your, well, here, I'll put it on for everybody. Let me think how to do this.
or just it's like the 4th.
I'll just get the link here.
Oh, sure.
Let me see here. Here we go.
While we're waiting, Melinda, did you have another comment? Oh, I can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting that.
No worries.
I just something to add about the way I, as I was picking away at it, I had a Google Doc or a Google folder. So whenever I worked on something, I would just throw it up into that folder, and it wasn't formatted. Sometimes it was just a list of ideas that I wanted to keep as I went, so that when it came time, I was ready to actually start putting it together. Then I could get all those ideas and start fleshing it out. So it's good to have some place either on your computer or up in a Google Doc where you can just throw out your ideas and your little projects that you worked a little bit on, so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
I love that. That's so good. That's so good. I will add that on there.
Okay, let's see. Well, I can't delete what I want to delete here.
Okay.
I'll just send you the whole thing. There's.
Are you sending it on the chat?
I'm sending it on the chat, but it doesn't want to go.
Huh.
We
There we
could,
go.
Oh, there it is.
oh,
Okay, great. So there's the link. Normally our meetings are at 10:30 on the 4th Wednesday. Today we had to do it at 11 because of this meeting.
Ah, thanks. I took your time. I was wondering about that. Thank you so much. Okay, perfect. That was so perfect, you guys. Yeah, so we've just got a couple, well, we've got a little time left. Yeah, just about 8 minutes left. Yes, so thank you. Anyone is welcome to join this class. Or if 3 or 2 chapters in your area want to work together and do one, Zoom actually works really well. I'm a fan of in-person stuff, obviously, but the Zoom works really well for this because we can share screens, we can show technology pieces on there. So Zoom actually works really awesome for this. So if you need any help getting set up with a group like this, for sure, send me an email. I'll just stick my email in the chat. Does the chat get saved? Does anyone know? I'm kind of. Is there a way I can save the chat? Does anyone know, Zoom experts?
I think
Save
that
chat.
it can
Look at
be
that.
saved. I just don't know.
Save chat. Chat saved. I don't know where it saves it to, but that's cool. Okay, great. I love it. All right, so that's pretty much all I have. So any other comments about certifying? Anything else we've missed? Again,
Thank you, Angela. Thank you so much for refreshing the whole, all of the information for us.
of course. And
Yes,
just
thank
sharing
you.
what helped me, really. All right, guys. Well, we will sign off and I'll get this email out to everyone as well as a recording of this meeting. And you guys are awesome. Feel free to email me with any questions, or if you think of anything later that like, oh, this was actually really helpful too. Yeah, just send me an email and I'll add it on. Onward, piano teachers.
So
Thank you, Angela. This was great.
Great stuff, everyone.
even though
Thank you.
it's bad
Thank
with
you. Nice to meet you.
the COVID.
We will recover eventually.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.